Hello, I'm Jacob. This is Tactical Tuesday. Today we are going to talk about choosing a defensive fighting firearm, and specifically we're going to talk about generalized firearms quality. Have you heard all firearms, modern firearms made today, are made and essentially they're pretty good quality? So you can't really make a wrong choice. If you have asked for opinions on firearms, you probably have. Here's the problem. You might also hear shoot a bunch of firearms and find out which one fits your hand the best and which one's the most comfortable for you and which one you shoot the best out of the box. And it's all a load of crap. So a little bit of my backstory. I carried a 1911 for 5 years, fit my hand like a glove, concealed better than what I carry now, and was generally reliable for anything that I needed to do for a very long time. I was in the crowd of I've never had a malfunction people. Then something changed, of course. It started out with getting some professional training. The first time, which did not involve actually using my personal firearm, I was shooting a Glock 19 and could not get over the fact that that handle, the grip, felt like crap. The trigger was crap. Just talk about awful, right? Then I started taking that 1911 to a few classes, and that did involve shooting my firearm. At first, I started having a couple issues. No big deal. Actually, in my first class, a couple people's Glocks went down before my 1911. I was like, all right, this is awesome. This is cool. Now, they went down due to operator error. They were dirty as crap, and the shooter was limp wristing. So, if you carry a gun, clean it, in my opinion. But I took another class, and all of a sudden, my 1911's having a lot of problems. And I came to the conclusion that with my carry firearm, I probably needed to have two of the same firearm. Now, why am I going so in depth into my experience with firearms? Long story short, I decided to drop the 1911 and pick up two Glock 17s. Hated the grips, hated the triggers, and yet I started shooting them. That all went away, and now I shoot them just as good as I shot my 1911. Now, that is not through training. I already got the training through the 1911. That is through practicing, which is to say, practicing what I learned during training on my own time. What I'm here to tell you is that any person that tells you that buy whatever firearm fits your hand the best and you shoot the best, and that that basically any modern firearm will be of acceptable quality and will be reliable, has never been in combat and has never had professional training. Now, what do I mean by professional training? Do I mean a crazy 2 to 5 day class where you're shooting thousands of rounds? I've been there. I've done that. I saw a crazy number of guns, even from reputable brands, go down. That's not what I'm talking about. Even within the first day of some of these classes, whether it be DTI or tactical response or even some other smaller classes that you would have never heard of, people's guns are going down left and right like crazy. And they all say the same thing. I've never had problems with this gun before. I've shot thousands of rounds through this gun. I don't understand why this is all happening right now. Now, it seems to me like there's some kind of training fairy that destroys guns. It doesn't always make sense because I was one of those people that had thousands of rounds through my 1911 before taking the class. And someone's going to be like, oh, you didn't maintain it. It went back to, it was a SIG. It went back to SIG twice. So, yeah, it was taken care of by someone who knew how to take care of it. No. And I did also keep my guns clean. No, the addition of stress in an environment and the round count are the two main contributing factors to why guns go down in training. And you may say, well, I'm not going to shoot 500 rounds through my gun. I only carry 8. So I only need it to be reliable for 8 rounds. Okay, well, here's the problem. Guns go down in training partially because they're hot, they're dirty, and you're stressed. A lot of malfunction is operator error. That's what really brings out the weaknesses of a design. But look at your carry gun. Now, a couple of people will be like, yeah, I clean my gun once a week whether I shoot it or not. 99.9999% of you, even the ones who say that, don't. In fact, if you pull out your concealed carry gun to show to a friend, you're usually probably embarrassed because it's dirty as crap. So you take that freaking dirty gun that you've been carrying for the last 3 years and have maybe cleaned and shot once out in an extremely high stress environment, and guess what? It's probably not going to run for you the way that you fantasize it will. The point of this being, I'm not bashing on any brand of gun because I've seen them all go down. Like I said, I've even seen the Glocks go down. That was because the people shooting it were limp wristing it and the gun was dirty. But not all guns of modern manufacture are quality. In fact, we live in a competitive market and manufacturers are trying to sell guns for as expensive as they can while making them as cheap as they can because that is the only way to survive in today's market. So they will cut every corner possible within the parameters of what they think is acceptable. A lot of today's guns are crap. Absolute garbage. So it doesn't matter what gun feels the best in your hands, which one has the most whiz-bang do-dizzles and flippy up things and whatever else. And don't worry about replacing triggers and stippling and this, that, and the other thing. Like, understand making your gun look cool so you like it better. But all of your money that you think is going towards the performance of your gun would be better spent in training, which would make you far more accurate in per dollar than that whiz-bang crap that you're buying that probably makes your gun go down. Because guess what? Talk to anybody else who has a lot of training. People go out there with all the whiz-bang doodads and this and that and the other. Their gun doesn't run for crap. And what do? You throw the stock crap back in it and all of a sudden it runs. So you're not competing. All right, we're talking about buying a gun. We're talking about what guns are high quality. 99.9% of the information that you have out there is the blind leading the blind. And everybody wants to be wise in their own eyes and go on these forums and give advice. And if you have training, it's hard to watch. If you've seen what actually goes on, it's hard to watch. So if you're going to pick up one thing through this video, you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Alright, so if you're talking about a handgun, get a Glock or a Smith & Wesson M&P. Yeah, of course, if you're willing to spend $2,000 a gun, your options open up a little bit. But basically, for 99.99% of every single person on the entire planet, get a Glock or a Smith & Wesson M&P. And for all the XD people who are going to get all offended by that, I'm not trying to offend you. If anything, I want to help you. The XDs are crap. They never make it through a 2-day class. Catastrophic malfunctions. Junk. So, if somebody tells you, buy any gun that fits your hand the best, that you shoot the best, because they're all of decent quality, I guarantee you that person is blind as a bat, has no idea what they're talking about, and is certainly trying to lead you astray. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have a blessed day.
He ain't dead smart. Played by the United States Marine Pipe and the Drum Corps.